So in St. Lucia, where I'm from, we like to season everything. Okay? We season our food with spices. Our music has all kinds of flavor, and we even add seasoning to the way we talk. So tonight, I brought a little seasoning packet that we're going to use as I teach you how to tell a story like the St. Lucia. Basic story, version 1 we'll call it. It will be here on the screen along with a few other things, but since technically our brains are supposed to be turned off tonight, don't feel obligated to follow along. But it's there if you want to. So here's the story we'll transform over the next few minutes. Whenever it rains, I become nervous about speeding drivers because I live next to a notoriously dangerous bend in the road where many drivers have gotten into accidents before. While inside on this one rainy day, I kept hearing the vehicles zoom past outside. I went outside at one point, and I noticed two cars approaching from around the bend. One was trying to pass the other, but the passing car looked too dilapidated to finish passing in time. Unfortunately, my experience living at this bend had taught me that an accident would be inevitable if another car came around. And so said, so done. Another car came around the corner and there was a collision. We're always alerting drivers to use caution around that corner, but they never seem to heed the warning. Okay, that story is great, that version is great, but to sound like a St. Lucian, we need to add a little more seasoning. So let's open our seasoning packet. Part 1 of the seasoning has to do with what you say. In St. Lucia, we don't speak a standard variety of English. We don't speak the Queen's English in St. Lucia. Instead, we speak our own vernacular English. And so, we need to make a few grammatical and phonetic adjustments to Lucianize this story. So here are 3 endings that don't exist in St. Lucia. Ing, nd, and st. So we don't say speeding, it's speeded. It's not a bend in the road, it's a bend. And we don't talk about the past, we talk about the past. We don't say this or that, it's this and that. And finally, quick formula to form 3 different tenses. Past tense, it was not I heard, it's I had hair. For the future, it's not will go, I go, or I go do. And for any habitual action, we use does in front of the verb. So it's not we alert drivers, we does alert drivers. So, now let's see how our story sounds with these adjustments. Whenever it rains, I just get nervous about speeding drivers because I live next to a notoriously dangerous bend in the road where many drivers just get in accidents. While I was inside on this one day, I was hearing the vehicles zoom past outside. I was outside at the time and I had noticed 2 cars approaching. One of them was trying to pass the other, but the passing car had looked too dilapidated to finish passing in time. Unfortunately, my experience living at this corner had taught me that the accident would be almost inevitable if another car had come. And so said, so done. Another car came around the corner and there was a collision. We just always alert drivers to use caution around that bend, but they just never heed the warning. Okay, this sounds so much more St. Lucian already, but the language is still missing some seasoning. We speak a French Creole in St. Lucia, so no Lucian story can be complete without that element. Here are a few words and expressions that we'll add to make the story a little more authentic. So a bregadeg is a skettel, is an old or dilapidated vehicle. To overtake is to pass. To check is to notice. So if you say, I checked that doesn't be talking again these days, what you're really saying, I noticed they haven't been speaking as much these days. Tutus means suddenly, a kinda means a lot of, and gasa is just an informal way to refer to the person you're talking to. So, along with these vocabulary changes, we also sprinkle in some unnecessary details because no Lucian story is complete without those. So let's see what version 3 of our story sounds like. So I was inside the house because you know it was raining today, so I couldn't be outside with my garden. I have my little garden, you know, I have cucumbers, peppers, onions, all kinds of things I like to plant, but I couldn't be outside today because of the rain. Now whenever it rains, I just remember that deadly corner I live in by, and how these young boys like to drive with speed. And you know when the road where they skid the cars, they skid. So I was inside there minding my business, and I heard the cars pass full speed. So it's a Formula One race that's going on outside of my road. As I reached by the road, I see two cars coming because I go check my boat, you know, because whenever it rains like that, I don't have worries about my boat. So I go by the fence and check on my boat. When I reach by the fence, I see two cars coming around the bend. One of them trying to overtake the other, and guys, so when I tell you, it's one skittle that was trying to overtake on the bend. And I know it's not going to pass in time because that skittle never have enough speed. So I just stand up there and I want to see what's going to happen. Next thing, I see another car coming the opposite lane. And the skittle still less struggling to pass. So of course, the two cars collide. Because all we keep warning them young boys about that corner, but they never want to listen. Okay, y'all. Believe it or not, we're not there yet. There's still one more element we need to add to make this a full Lucian story. And in my opinion, it's the most important element. It all boils down to how you say it. So we're going to use onomatopoeia wherever possible, and we're going to involve our entire bodies in telling the story. Are you ready for our final product? So I was inside the house because it was raining today, and whenever it's raining like that on my roof, I just start to get worried about the fellas outside because them young boys like to speed, and I know that corner I live by is dangerous. So the other day, I was there minding my business, and I heard the cars pass full speed around the corner. One car pass. Next car pass. You swear it's a Formula One race that's happening outside of my door, the way them engines making noise. Now something just tell me to go and check on my boats that tied by the fence. Because whenever it rains like that, I just get worried about my boats. As I reach by the road, I see two cars coming around the bend. One of them can overtake the other one on the bed. Guys, so when I tell you, it's one bragging egg that was trying to overtake. And you know them skittles never have enough speed to do anything. So I just stand up there and I watch to see what's going to happen. Tutus and another car come around the corner. And the skittles still struggling to pass. So I say, yeah, overtake, you want to overtake. Let me see what you go do now. Next thing, the car hit, and I just heard one loud whoa! The skittle hit the car in its lane. We always warning them young boys about that corner, but they never want to listen. And you know what they say? Who don't hear will feel.